Hey y'all, welcome to Back Porch Cooking and Reminiscing. I'm Roger, and we're happy to have y'all here with us today. Today we got a special treat for you guys. We're going to be making one of my favorite dessert items. And what we're going to make is a couple different names for it. Some people call them lunch lady bars. Some people call them peanut butter bars. But either way you say it, it is delicious. And if you like Reese cups, you're going to love this recipe.
Yeah. Porch boards sway in a slow rhythm. Got the screen door sighing a low hum. That old wood stove is cooking something good. Smell of bacon filling up the neighborhood.
All right, so let's get started making these. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in 1 cup of peanut butter. And now we like Jif peanut butter, so that's what we're using here is Jif. But you use whatever type of peanut butter that you like the best. And you want to be sure to scrape your bowl so you get all of it. You don't want to leave any in the bowl. And now we're going to put in, this is 1 cup of melted butter. We're just going to pour that in on top of our peanut butter. And we'll go ahead and give that a little mix while we got it sitting there, just to kind of get the peanut butter softened up a little bit. All right, and then we're going to put in, this is 1 2/3 cup of powdered sugar. And I'm going to do it just a little bit at a time if I can get it to come out of there. And we're going to just stir that in, and we're going to put the rest of it in. And we're just going to stir and stir and stir until we get it all mixed up and incorporated in. All right, guys, so rather than stand there and try to whip that up with my hands, I decided I'm going to get the mixer out and we're going to do it that way. So, going to make a little bit of noise here. All right, now then, with a mixer, this didn't take long at all. So, got that good and mixed up. It's nice and smooth. And now we're going to be putting in our 2 cups of graham cracker crumbs. Now, you can buy these already made into crumbs, or you can take a couple of sleeves of graham crackers and crush them up yourself in the food processor or in a bag and beat them with a hammer or a can or just whatever you want to do. But we went with the already ground up ones. There's the picture on that, just so you can see those. And as I was telling you, we use Jif peanut butter, so there's our Jif peanut butter. All right, guys, so we're just going to mix this little mixture up here. Got a fly flying around. I tell you, summertime, you cannot keep the flies out of the house. It's just almost an impossibility. So we're going to mix this up until we get it all incorporated in. And then we're going to just pour it into our 9 by 13 baking dish. But we're not going to bake it. Oh, this is smelling so good. All right, well, I think we've about got that mixed up. So now I'm going to get our baking dish over here and we're going to just pour it in. So got our baking dish here and we're just going to start pouring this stuff in. Or well, maybe we're going to push it off in there. And now we lined this one with some parchment paper, just because we decided we wanted to do it that way. You don't have to do it that way. We got it all out. Now we're just going to spread it around in our pan here. Just kind of smooth it out. Try to get it as even as you can. That way, when you start slicing your bars, you won't have a thick one on one end and a thin one on the other. All right, that looks good to me. All right, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our topping ready for it. All right, and so for our chocolate topping to go in here, we had 2 cups of dark chocolate chips, and we melted those in the microwave. And on that, if you've never done it before, put them in a bowl and go for about 20 seconds. Take them out, give them a stir, put them back in for another 20 seconds, take them out, give them a stir, and you just keep doing it at 20-second intervals. All right, and then to this, we're going to add a 1/4 cup of peanut butter. Oh, guys, this is going to be so good. I can't wait until they are ready. All right, and then we're just going to mix that peanut butter into the chocolate and just mix it until you get it all incorporated in. Just stir it around and be sure you get your sides scraped down. And now we are ready to pour this over the top. So now we're just going to take our chocolate mix and we're just going to start pouring it over our peanut butter and graham cracker mixture. All right, guys, so like I say, all we got to do is just spread that chocolate out. Try to get it all over everything. All right, guys, so this is what it's going to look like when you get your chocolate all spread out. Now, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to put this baby in the refrigerator to let it get cold. And then once it's ready, we'll come back and cut a piece. All right, y'all, so while that our bars are in the refrigerator, chilling out and getting ready to eat, let's talk about where this recipe comes from, because it is pure American history. So I'm going to read you a little snippet here about how this recipe came to be. All right. It says this dessert didn't start out in a corporate test kitchen or a modern food blog. It goes all the way back to post-World War II era, right after President Truman signed the National School Lunch Act. The government had 2 big goals: keep the school kids well nourished and help out the American farmers by buying their surplus crops. By the 1960s and 70s, the USDA found themselves with a massive mountain of what they called commodity peanut butter. Well, we're not talking about the airy whip jars that you buy at the grocery store today. This was incredibly rich, dense peanut butter that arrived at school cafeterias in giant industrial number 10 size cans. And the lunch ladies were given a mandate: find creative and cheap ways to use this peanut butter. So when you've got 20 minutes to feed 500 screaming kids, you don't have time to scoop out individual cookies. So the lunch ladies got incredibly resourceful. They realized if they mixed that heavy peanut butter with melted butter, powdered sugar, and crunchy graham crackers, they could press it straight into a massive industrial sheet pan, no baking required, throw a layer of melted chocolate over top, pop it in the cooler, and smash it out with a bench scraper. It was fast, it was budget friendly, and to us kids, it became the ultimate lunchroom currency. You could trade an entire homemade sandwich just to get 1 square of these. All right, so that's some history on how that the lunch lady peanut butter bars came into existence, and these ought to be pretty close to being set up. So we're going to pull them out of the fridge and cut them and give them a taste. All right, guys. So our lunch lady peanut butter bars have been in the refrigerator for probably maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours, and so we were able to take them out of the pan because we had put that parchment paper underneath. We were able to just lift the whole thing out and took that parchment paper off and set it here on the cutting board. So we're ready to give it a cut and give it a taste and just see how it is. All right, so we're just going to start cutting here. Now, the lunch ladies had some kind of a big cutter that they used. I'm not really sure, don't remember ever seeing that. But speaking of the lunch ladies, I don't know if y'all remember this or not, but our lunch ladies used to make us peanut butter sandwiches when we would have chili or soup, and they would use Karo syrup or honey in the peanut butter mixed with the peanut butter to make the sandwiches. And I'm telling you, they were so good. All right, and this thing is supposed to cut into 12 pieces, and that's what we're going to have is 12 pieces. Now, I'm being real careful about cutting this because I don't want to tear it all to pieces. All right, so we've got it cut. I want to get to one of these middle pieces here because that's what I want y'all to see what it looks like. If I can get it out. All right, there we go. Don't that look delicious? And I can't wait to give it a try. All right, guys, so I'm ready to give this baby a try, and it looks and smells delicious. And I did maybe cut them a little big. You could probably cut them a little smaller, and you might get 15 out of it, but big is good. Mm. So, guys, I'm here to tell you that is so delicious. Takes me back to my days in grammar school. Uh, they they are just out of this world good. Now, I use the dark chocolate for the topping. If you use just regular milk chocolate, they would probably taste exactly like a Reese's cup. But with the dark chocolate, they taste like the dark chocolate Reese's cup, which I'm a dark chocolate fan, love dark chocolate. So, um, but again, they are so good. You really have to make these for your family. Share this recipe with your friends, and just hit that like and subscribe button. These are some good guys that it's hard for me to even talk. They were so good. But click on that bell for me. And guys, we appreciate y'all being here and watching this video. And again, I really, really recommend that you make these as a dessert for your family. Or if you've got a gathering, some type of a family gathering, church gathering, something like that, these will be awesome. All right, guys. So we will see you here in a few days, and we'll have you another video up